Israel-Iran War News Live Update. Iranian Cleric links U.S. campus protests to Khamenei letters. Iranian Islamic scholar asserts that pro-Palestinian student demonstrations in U.S. colleges are inspired by writings of Iran's supreme leader. President Ebrahim Raisi's father-in-law, Ahmad al-Malhoda, is a close associate of Khamenei's. According to the Cleric, Khamenei's 2014 and 2015 letters to Western students are to blame for the current campus protests in the United States. The notoriously aggressive al-Malhoda has previously called for the chopped into pieces of the British ambassador to Iran. The Iranian government's media channels frequently portray the student demonstrations on American campuses as proof of the validity of their anti-Western position, which has attracted considerable attention within Iran. In stark contrast to how it handles internal dissent, the Iranian dictatorship has placed a heavy emphasis on these events, with student activists facing severe punishments for such actions. The Iranian people have taken note of the contradiction and have condemned the leadership for what they perceive as its apparent hypocrisy. Pro-Hamas student sentiment in the West has won over Khamenei, who sees the demonstrations as a sign of international solidarity with the Palestinian cause. According to Khamenei's statement earlier this month, the subject of Gaza remains the top global concern despite the efforts of Zionists and their American and European friends. During his 35 years in power, Khamenei has firmly aligned himself against Israel, the United States, and Western influence in general, lending his backing to groups like Hamas. He has taken a stand that has cut Iran off from international trade, which has made the country's already dire economic situation, a declining GDP and soaring inflation, even worse. Amid substantial domestic and international problems, Khamenei's government is attempting to emphasize the righteousness of its political views by capitalizing on anti-Israeli and anti-Western emotions worldwide. On Friday, Iranians had another opportunity to vote for parliament in areas where candidates ran unopposed in March, when ultra-conservatives and conservatives took the majority. Turnout in the first round of voting was 41%, the lowest it has been since the Islamic Revolution of 1979. At the end of the first round, candidates were only considered elected if they received 20% of the eligible votes in their district. According to officials, 45 out of 290 deputies in parliament were filled on Friday in 15 of Iran's 31 provinces, including Tehran. As voting started, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, was among the first to cast a ballot. "Everyone ought to cast a ballot in these elections if God wills it, my dear people. A stronger parliament is the result of greater involvement," he stated. Out of 61 million eligible voters in Iran, 25 million participated in the March election. The Reform Front, the leading coalition of reform parties, had already stated its refusal to participate in what it called meaningless, non-competitive and ineffective elections prior to the first round. The first nationwide vote since demonstrations broke out following the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in police custody in September 2022 occurred during this vote. Arrested on suspicion of disobeying the Islamic Republic's stringent clothing code for women, Amini is a Kurd from Iran. Ahmad Vahidi, Minister of the Interior, stressed on Wednesday that taking part in the second round was as crucial as taking part in the first. He reportedly told the Mehr news agency, "Those with influence among the people should push the nation to join in it." The first-round turnout in the 2016 legislative elections was over 61%, but it dropped to 42.57% in 2020, when the COVID pandemic was in full swing.